It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, July 30th. I hope you all are having a fantastic Tuesday, end of July. And that actually, I'm going to jump right into something that's really important as we talk about end of July, because I just got reminded this morning about my sponsor for this week on Daily Dose of Donna is my favorite. You guys, it's Just Meats. I want to get this out of the way because I want to get into all of our stuff, but I'm telling you, like, when you talk or listen to a podcast or watch something and they say like today's episode is sponsored by, and you can just go blah 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 blah. Legit, when I tell you, no other product that I've used cooking wise, food wise, have I enjoyed as much as Just Meats. And I say this because I am someone that doesn't want to necessarily maybe spend an hour to prep dinner when the kids come home from like late night baseball and stuff. I just want to get right to it. And Just Meats is the best. I'm going to show you a little video because I have a $35 discount for you guys. And it's actually really useful because the product is not that expensive. It really isn't. So check out Just Meats really fast. And then we're going to get into all the stories because we have a lot to talk about today. But first, I want to show you a little video of Just Meats and kind of how they prepare all their meats. They don't use seed oils. It's grass fed. It comes ready to eat. All you have to do is heat it. You don't understand how helpful this is. I use it 4 nights a week, even just with Lance and I. So here's a little video. There's no volume on this on purpose. If you see, I mean, this is literally good quality meat that is seasoned so well. It's not filled with fats. There's porks, there's beefs, there's steaks, there's chickens. Everything is good. All the different flavors are good. Like last night we had Hawaiian shredded pork with a seasoned stir fry, like from what's it called? Trader Joe's. So good. I've made like a brisket mac and cheese before. This is how it comes to you. It just comes with these boxes and those sauces on the side. You can keep it in the fridge or keep it in the freezer. All you guys have to do is use code Just Donna B, all capitalized Just Donna B, for $35 off until the end of the month. So get it, get your meat on, get your protein in. Protein. Isn't that what all the guys do on Love Island? They're like, yeah, I need my protein between my avocado toast. We're going to get into everything on today's show. Carl Radke is blowing my mind. Is Carl Radke going to crush life starting now? Alexis Bellino can shove it. Kendall from Love Island opened up about his relationship, and I think you'd be surprised to hear what I heard. All of that on more on today and more on today's Daily Dose of Donna. I just used this body oil. This is not sponsored. This is not even an ad. This is not even trying to promote anything. I just used this body oil that I bought from Trader Joe's. It's right here. I'm sure a lot of you guys have purchased this because, Trader Joe's has really good skincare products for really like affordable. So this is a Joe's lemongrass coconut body oil with almond and jojoba oils. Am I saying it right? Jojoba. Jojoba? Jojoba. I don't know a lot about it. I just know it's very oily. And I put it on right before the show, and I'm wearing shorts. So my legs are slipping and sliding. No, legit, as Mark says, Donna slides off the chair. I actually may. I mean, should I give you guys a little leg moment? Look how, can you see? Like how it's out of control. Like I feel like I've joined a slip and slide. I feel like I'm flying off the chair. Ray is here. I finally feel home between Ray and Mark and Michelle and Josh and Lisa and Debbie. We've got some of our regulars here. Today feels like a reunion. I needed you guys. We needed a reunion today. All right. I have to say something before I get into the stories. And this is no spoiler. You must stop what you're doing. Do it immediately. Go and watch Presumed Innocent, 8 episodes on Apple TV. I remember a couple of you guys talking about this, whether it was on the Facebook page or I don't remember where, when I was asking what you guys were watching. I'm like, I'm not into like a true crime, like a murder situation. Not into it. Not into it. However, I started to watch it. I think Sunday, Lance and I started it. Yeah, it was Sunday. We started the first episode like maybe on Thursday or Friday, and we got halfway through, and then we got busy. But Sunday we sat down. We said, "Let's watch Presumed Innocent." This is Jake Gyllenhaal and Peter Skarsgård. Peter Skarsgård, funnily enough, is Jake Gyllenhaal's brother-in-law because Jake Gyllenhaal is married to Maggie Gyllenhaal. No, Jake Gyllenhaal is brothers of Maggie Gyllenhaal, who happens to be married to Peter Skarsgård. And they play kind of enemies in the show, Jake and Peter. Listen, Taylor Swift won't be happy with me, but I enjoyed the show so much. This was obviously based on the Presumed Innocent book, I believe, and then there was a movie, of course, with Harrison Ford, but it's different, and I'm not going to spoil it. I just want to tell you guys right now, if you're looking for a bingeable, like 1-hour show, this is it. You can watch it with your spouses. You can watch it alone. It was amazing. Like I was hooked, sinker. I need shows like that. So if you have any other shows that are similar to that, one of my DMs last night said Defending Jacob, which I guess is a few years old, but I'd never seen it. I don't know if I want necessarily like another true crime legal 1 hour, but I loved the twists, the turns. Like that's a kind of show that I'm into right now. So if you guys have any good suggestions, drop them in the comments. Let your dosers know. We like to help each other. In fact, yesterday I asked on my Instagram stories if anyone's listening to something really good audiobook wise. I'm so sensitive to audiobooks, and I'll tell you why. As someone that has been told my whole life that I have an annoying voice, and I wear it like a badge of honor, okay? Like a badge of freaking honor. And if you know me in real life, you know that I have this much energy. You know that I go through the world talking and dancing and moving and singing. And if I go to a workout class, I just got told, what did she call me today? My workout instructor. She said, "You remind me of the girl from the Valley Girl." One of the girls from Valley Girl. Like I have a lot of energy. I'm just like, but I'm very, very sensitive to audiobook voices and narrations. And I think that this is really, as someone that used to be in casting, I worked in a little bit. I did a few voiceover casting jobs. I'm not good at it. I don't have the best like ear for voices, but I did a lot of animation. That's different. Narration of books is so specific. And I'm talking not a memoir, I'm talking a fiction book. And so it is, to me, something that is so like it's so specific, and I almost wonder if it's so nuanced, meaning what I like, maybe you don't like, etc. But I'm listening to a book right now, and I'm a big, beach reads, summer fiction. Give it to me if it's at a beach, if there's like a love affair, if there's some sort of summer in the title, I'll read it. And so I'm just going to call it out and tell you guys, and I don't mind the book necessarily. The book itself is good, but what I'm struggling through is getting through the narration of it. And it's called The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortuna. And I want to love it. I do. I can't handle, and I said this in my thing. I can't handle hearing, "So he came over and he pushed me against the counter and my body started to flutter and then my legs wide open and oh my gosh, I got so hot and bothered." And I'm like, I don't want to listen to porn. Like, I don't know. Am I 90? Am I 90? I don't know if I want smut books on audio, Michelle. So like I want a good story. Like my favorite audiobook ever was Verity by Colleen Hoover. It was mysterious. It kept me interested. I couldn't stop. I'm talking again, fiction books, not memoir. My favorite memoir of all time is the girl who I'm happy my mom died by. Is that how it's called? By Jeanette McCurdy. One of the best audiobooks ever, memoir, in my opinion. It's so hard for me to hear this kind of stuff that I almost feel uncomfortable. I have to tell you guys a quick story. One time, I was driving here in Studio City at a red light. My windows were up because it's hot here in Los Angeles. During the summer, I was drinking my iced coffee. Windows were up. And I was probably listening to a podcast, but there was a break in some sort of audio that I was listening to that I heard someone talking right outside my car so loudly that I thought maybe it was someone just walking by. But no, it was the audiobook of the woman next door to me in the car next door to me at the red light. This woman could not have been younger than 75, maybe 80. She was up there, okay? And this woman was listening to porn. And when I say porn, I don't mean like actual porn. She was listening to smut so loudly that her windows were up and my windows were up, and I was I was getting foreplay. And I thought to myself, that's the moment that I don't know if I am going to be able to stick with the smut. Anyway, this was just kind of random ranting, and I love our comments. Check out the comments in the live stream if you're listening to this on replay. It's really, really interesting. Now, Josh says something. Don't forget to join the Daily Dose Book Club only on Facebook. Yes, we have a chat. We have a chat, but we need to make more of like a situation. That's what I'm going to work on. Okay, you guys, I'm going to work on a situation where we're going to read a book every month. We're going to work on this. Okay, let's get into Carl Radke. Carl Radke is opening up a sober bar. It's happening. Well, I don't know if you can call it a sober bar or you call it a non-alcoholic bar. Now, if any of you guys remember last summer or last season on Summer House, we had the big discussion of Carl, you're not crushing it. Carl, you need to crush it. You need to figure something out. And Carl's like, I have an idea. I think what I'm thinking of doing is doing like a sports bar, but non-alcoholic. And Lindsay, and you guys can judge me all you want over this, but I believe that this is absolutely not, I don't think this is too, wild of a thought. But Lindsay was not into the idea of this bar. At the time, he was not bringing him money. It feels like a very expensive venture, I should say. You have to rent the place, then you have to get all the insurance and the licenses, then you have to hire everyone. I mean, it's a pricey endeavor. So to open a sober bar, you have to either have crazy amounts of investment money, which I don't think Carl did, or you have to have investors, and you have to assume that your bar will make a lot of money. Why do I believe that, bars make so much money? I would have to say it's probably the majority of it is the alcohol, right? The alcohol related money. Dante says, stop saying he wasn't bringing in money when he was bringing in $750,000 a year after taxes. Stop it, Lindsay Machine. Oh, okay. I am a Lindsay Machine. I am a Lindsay. I'm literally reiterating what their fight was about. Okay, let's just chill. Let's chill out for a second. Dante, I don't feel like getting yelled at about Lindsay and Carl today. But Carl has now proved Lindsay and everyone else wrong by announcing that he is part of this new bar called, get it? You guys get it? Ready for it? The Soft Bar and Cafe. Now, do we think Soft Bar has something to do with maybe his mentioning to her that she needs to be more soft? Or do you think it's kind of like a double entendre because it's soft drinks? I don't know. But let's look at the first post. It says, here you are. Consider this our soft launch. We can't wait to share more with you soon. Now, I would imagine when they say this, drinks with benefits, we consider every sip. Is it enhancing? Is it delicious? Is it worth another? At Soft Bar, the answer is always yes. Now, I think that there is enough of products on the market in this world right now in 2024 that are very dedicated to health benefits in your drinks, right? We have all the kombucha, we have all the fermented probiotic type drinks. I mean, go to Whole Foods, you have like aisles and aisles filled with this kind of stuff, even like Poppy and Olipop and things like that. They all have this kind of ability to, I don't know, improve your health in your drink. Then we also have a lot of products that you see probably on your Facebook ads. I don't know if you see it like me on your Instagram and Facebook ads, like Ritual. I don't know if it's called Ritual or Recess, or the one that you put, is it Nama, Nama, something like that, where it's a dropper and you put it in a drink, and apparently it's like a CBD situation, not THC, but CBD, and it kind of chills you out and it gives you the same effects of alcohol in the sense that you can relax. But look, none of those drinks actually work for me. The only one that has actually worked for me is a THC drink, but that's a whole different experience. And in my opinion, I don't believe, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe THC is legal in New York. It's not, right? Marijuana is not legal in New York. I don't know. The question is price. What else do they offer at this bar? And how often are you going to go back? So I have a lot of sober peeps or non-alcohol drinking peeps in my comments always. I have a big sober doser community, and I love you guys. And so a lot of you are giving me some of your suggestions. Like Ray says, I would totally go there for novelty, but it would have to be great to keep me coming back. Oh, marijuana is legal in LA. In New York, Mark Ward says. Okay, so if marijuana is legal in New York City, maybe they can offer THC drinks, which actually I do believe would keep people coming back, right? Because you're getting like a high out of it. I think from what I'm seeing with the marketing of this soft bar is it's a little bit less than what he explained it to be to Lindsay, right? To Lindsay, he said something along the lines of, this is going to be a sports bar with non-alcoholic drinks. See, that to me was where it was confusing. But if you do a really cool like boutique lounge vibe, think about it. Like a really kind of Zen Tulum feeling New York small bar. Small. Where you have like maybe some really cool music playing, some really yummy food, and then you have these non-alcoholic drinks with, additions, right? Whatever additions that they want to use. You may be able to do it. You really may be able to do it because Erewhon is a market that people spend $30 on a smoothie because Hailey Bieber said you should. And if Erewhon can do it, why can't a bar do it? I think I'd have to see, like, of course, the vibe. Do you want to go back? Is it fun? Are the drinks worth the money that they need to charge to make it? Regardless, proud of Carl. I'm happy that he's actually taking some moves on his life. I believe Lindsay was holding him down. I say that honestly, and I like Lindsay, as you guys know. Lindsay machine. I am a Lindsay machine. I like Lindsay, but sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can probably attest to this, sometimes when you move at a certain kind of energy for your own life, meaning you hustle, but in your own way. You're more of like a slow but steady type person. And then you're paired up with someone that's like a go, go, go. Come on, move it, get going. Da, 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 da. That to me makes me think it's going to be, it makes you almost like not want to do it as fast or as much just because the person you're with is doing it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, I think there's a lot of couples maybe that struggle with this, where one of them is like really into self-help, really into exercise, really into waking up early and going. And the other one's like, well, I'll get there, but I need to want to get there. And so they argue about it. And I think honestly, was their situation. I think Carl almost needed to release Lindsay out of his life for him to finally start crushing it. It's possible. He also is working with Loverboy still, Lisa. From what I see, he's still in all of their like videos, and they do all kinds of weird dances together. Like, I don't know if you guys did you guys see Kyle's TikTok of him and Carl doing? I may have to find it for you guys because this one is a good one. So there's this what's it called? Like a viral TikTok, and it's called the Charlie Dancer. and Kyle did, and Sierra did it, and they looked absolutely perfect and stunning and amazing doing it. And then Carl and Kyle did it. So let's watch it for fun together, huh? I don't think I can put the music on because I worry a little bit about copyright. So we may have to do it in silence, but let's watch it. Hold on one second. Let me do it this again. Share screen, no audio. Okay. If you're watching, um, it's the most awkward thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Okay. Kyle looks like Carl's mini me. He's so small next to Carl. And it's this weird dance. Now, this is the video of them making it. I think Amanda's filming them. Yeah, she's actually like doing the moves. Is that her? Oh no, Dylan is filming it. Okay, Dylan is their social media coordinator who's kind of watching them. Now, the ones that did it really, really well, I have to say, were Amanda and Sierra. So I will show you what it should look like. I wonder if it's on Amanda's or Sierra's TikTok. Oh, here it is. I mean, they look so hot, right? Amanda and Sierra. I'm just kind of sad still to know that Amanda and Kyle are still together. I know that that's going to sound really strange, but look at Jesse in the background. But I worry a little bit about that relationship. I never hope for people to break up, but that's the one that I can't. Kyle really turned me last season. Kyle, it was the example of ick. And now knowing that he's DJing, like it's just none of it's going to work for me. Okay. Good for Carl. Let's see what happens. I know that Andy Cohen ran into Lindsay over the weekend. He said in the Hamptons, I believe, she was with her boyfriend and baby daddy. Andy said she looked gorgeous and the bump was bumping. So she is going to be pretty pregnant. I believe that she's going to have this baby. I think she's like well over halfway pregnant from what I've heard. So we'll see what happens. Can't wait for that. All right. In today's annoying ass news, let's talk about Alexis Bellino. Guys, Alexis Bellino, are we supposed to like her? Are we doing something wrong this season that we don't like Alexis? Did they bring her on to make us feel worse for Shannon and side with Shannon more? Now we're about 3 episodes into OC. I didn't do a recap this week because I was out of town the day after, but Alexis is so freaking annoying on the season of OC. And this is coming from someone that already, like, we already didn't like her. It's not like she was, super likable when she was on the show. She was annoying when she was on the show. She was cringy and complainy and totally out of touch and completely unaware. And now she comes back right when Shannon is at her lowest low. She comes back only to rub it in everyone else's faces that she's with her Johnny J, her rebranded Johnny J. Okay, she doesn't look cute. She looks desperate. She looks angry. She looks like she's there for a purpose, and that is only to rub the relationship into to Shannon's like face. This whole single white female situation is crazy. So in this last episode, what we did was we went to this flag football beach event that Emily put on, who I really love this season. I think Emily is killing it this season. She's doing so well in her confessional. She's making me laugh. She looks great. I love her storyline. I really like Emily this season. I think I liked her last season, but this season I find myself like really liking her vibe. But she throws this like flag football event, and strangely enough, Alexa shows up. Of course, production forced her to do that. And she comes in with like all of this kind of annoying energy. Like, think about this as if it was your real life and you were Shannon. Or forget it, even if you were Shannon. If you were any of the other girls, I'd be like, stop. Like, no one wants to. The fact that people are letting her talk about Johnny J as if he's this prize. He's such a loser, that guy. We've always said it. He's Dirty John. He is the the king of like toxicity. I don't believe he's a positive person in anyone's life. Definitely not for Shannon, but even for Alexis, because it's just feeling so gross. She comes in, she talks about the fact that she's going to the same gym that Shannon has gone to for years. And then she's saying that Shannon hasn't gone in so long, so it doesn't feel weird. Then she shows up with a dog that looks just like Archie. Okay, creepy. Creepy. You know what? Knowing her, she probably has some sort of Reddit snark page that she created just about Shannon. That feels like something Alexis would do. Alexis is sitting on the online forums just like, Johnny J, Johnny J. I'm promising myself to him, Johnny J. We have sex 4 times a day. No one wants to have sex 4 times a day, Larsa included. It doesn't, it's not fun. It hurts. It's tiring. I'd rather watch Presumed Innocent for 6 hours. I have errands to run. I have TikToks to watch. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing with this? It makes no sense. Now, she was on Carlos King's podcast, and I'm going to find this. She was on Carlos King's podcast, and my friend Dana at the Bravo Investigator posted a clip this morning because I don't know if I can bring myself to listen to it, but she did the hard work for us, and she posted this clip, and I think you guys would be interested in hearing this. Have you listened to this podcast episode? It's a toughie. It's a toughie. Let's watch it. Let's listen to these 2 clips together. Again, this is at the Bravo Investigator. Her name is Dana. She's great. Okay, ready?
I do not know is that I ended up making a decision saying I'm not going to film. Now, at the time I'm with Shannon, I care about her. She wouldn't survive if she didn't have the job. So I was put in a very difficult position, and I agreed to film. So then people say I lit up on camera and stuff. I'm shy actually, and I was trying to make the best of it. I mean, I'm not trying to be, a dud. So I tried to make the best of it. So whatever they saw, that's what it was.
Did you? So what I'm hearing is obviously, and listen, I've done plenty of shows throughout my career, and that's one thing that people don't understand is the fact that this is no secret. It's publicly known that the men do not get paid, and that the men on these shows, they are a big part of these ladies' storylines, right? Are you intimating that obviously when it came to your relationship with Shannon, it was real? You also knew she had this job. This job is important to her, and we've seen that. And you felt that as her man at the time, you were pleasing your girlfriend because you knew how important this show was. Therefore,
100%. I did it for Shannon.
And that's the other thing. And a lot of what John and I said is it's going to take time for America to actually see what was real and what wasn't. But he isn't eager to jump on the camera this season with me, and I filmed the whole season. So it's just going to take time. And yeah, he did a red carpet with me. Oh, well, who cares? Like everyone's like, oh, but he went on the red carpet with you. I asked him to. He did it for a favor for me because I wanted to go to.
I know it's hard to listen to them. And a lot of you guys are saying in the comments, like, oh my God, why would Carlos even have them on their podcast? Look, because we're talking about it and we're interested in it. But John Jansen shouldn't have even done Carlos's podcast. If you're so, that's awesome for Carlos. But like, if you're so not interested in being a celebrity, not interested in being in the public, not interested in being involved with these, you guys, Alexis is not that big of a prize, right? Like shit, in my opinion, I think he could probably find other women. You don't date someone who's going on a reality show. It's just I don't know about you guys, but like I've managed to live my life without dating someone on a reality show. You? Maddie says, is that sped up because she's talking really fast? I would imagine she probably sped it up. This is another moment where it says that Alexis said that John offered to pay her the same salary as Bravo, not to do the show. Let's see if this is, if we can even stomach this.
John offered to pay me the full salary that Bravo was going to pay me, not to do the show. So if he's Mr., doesn't have money and she pays for everything, he's not going to do that, number one. Number two, it's a lie. It's a lie. And she says he love bombed her. He did all this. He did that. How does he love bomb you if he's broke and doesn't give you anything and you're paying for everything? Huh? How does that make sense? Like nothing she says makes sense, and nothing she says, she has no credibility anymore because it's going to keep getting profusely shown throughout the season. She has her words don't have any merit.
Okay. So a couple things. Have you ever been love bombed? I have. I actually totally have, by someone that legitimately had no money. Like, legitimately. There is actually a part of someone that when they don't have money, because love bombing, like the actual definition of love bombing, I'm not a relationship expert, but the definition of love bombing, I don't think is actually like buying gifts. I don't think it's actually, you know, spending money. In fact, I think love bombing is giving you all of their attention, telling you all the things, being able to say like how incredible you are, how beautiful you are, how charming you are. This is how Brooks was able to get into Vicky's pockets. Like, actually, I would say that probably the most deceiving men, the most like snaky men that kind of try to get into relationships with women that maybe have a little more money or whatever. I think those are the love bombers, and those are the ones that are just like the worst. So she's just so convinced that Shannon is a liar and that Johnny J is this great person, but I don't believe that anyone's falling for it. Maybe their little circle of friends are falling for it. And if that's what they want to live, then fine. But don't shove it in our faces. I don't want to be shoved it in my face. And then I was listening to Jeff Lewis yesterday, but it was last week's episode because I saw that Emily and Shane were on the episode. And they talked about this. And, Jeff Lewis is really close with Shannon. So he's been very protective over Shannon in this entire experience. And Emily said that she definitely is not a fan of Alexis really in the show. You can tell that she says, it's too much and it's Shannon's worst nightmare, that she would come right in and like go crazy and basically rub it into Shannon's face. She said, like, poor Shannon, you're already so low and then this happens to you. But Emily said that what's crazy about it is that throughout the season, it just gets worse. It just gets worse. So I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know what's going to be coming out in the next few episodes, but like, why? OC, why'd you have to do this to us? I don't want this storyline. I'm actually really invested in the other storylines on the show. Like, I don't mind the Gina Travis story. I think it's really interesting. I don't believe that. What's shocking to me about OC, you guys, is that Gina and Travis are still together. So when I'm watching these episodes and she's getting all sad that he's packing up and moving out because they need literally more space, physically more space for her kids, I thought to myself, there's no way they're still together. There's no way. They are, right? They are still together. According to according to Emily, and then on their Instagram, they live apart. They live like a mile away from each other, but they're still together. I thought that was really, really interesting to me. But I'm somewhat interested and invested in that story. I really like the new girl, Katie. I love that she's friends with Sutton. That made me happy. I am very interested to see how she goes up against Heather and why and how. Gina pissed me off with the Jen Pedranti thing here. And let's just talk about this real briefly, okay? Jen Pedranti, to me, met her in person 2 times. I think she's kind and I think she's adorable. I really do. I think she's probably one of the nicest, most down-to-earth housewives out there, I would imagine. But she's not making the best financial decisions. Understandably, okay? She's just not. Obviously, she straight up says on the show, I never had a credit card. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the biggest flaw in the American education system, in my opinion, is that we're not taught as children how to make money, how to save money, how to pay taxes, how to handle debt, etc. I was really lucky. My grandfather was very paranoid about money and very money. I would say he was very paranoid about money. He was a self-made man, Holocaust survivor. And when I was a kid and like hanging out at my Saba's house, that's how you say grandfather in Hebrew. When I was a kid, I used to hang out with him in his office and he would teach me he was writing his checks and how to balance his checkbook, like his business checkbook, because he owned a building. And so he would show me like, the big checkbooks and how to like put it together and then what to put in savings and what to do this. I still don't understand taxes. Don't understand taxes at all. So I probably, knowing my luck, I'll probably have like a $10,000 lien on my house, like Brittany Cartwright and Kyle. Just kidding. I pay my taxes. But the point is that this is so essential for people to learn. And either her parents never taught her, she got married too young, and her husband never gave her financial freedom. This is the biggest concern when I hear women who get married to men who make all the money and all they do is spend the money, but they have no idea how much money they have. They have no idea how much money they owe. They have no idea what bills they pay. If the man, God forbid, dropped dead, they would be like lost birds. They have no idea. So I personally feel like this should be like an essential part of education. She left her husband. She broke up with him, remember, because she fell in love with Ryan and left the relationship and never bothered to learn. Ryan almost enables the behavior by saying like, I'll dissolve your payments, or I'll take in your payments, or I will bring you in. And of course that could also be, considered the way he loves her and wants to take care of her. But it's insane that she straight up is saying is she 46 years old? Michelle is saying at 46 years old, she's saying, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, start watching a YouTube channel about like finances in America. You have to figure it out. So she actually has absolutely no idea what she's doing, and she clearly has messed up left and right and probably will continue to mess up. But what Gina's doing is so shitty, and I'll tell you why. Gina is a professional. She's a real estate agent, and I would never hire Gina after seeing this experience. I would never, because you're taking advantage of a situation. And by the way, there can be situations like this in so many ways, right? You could rent your house. You could like broker a deal and rent the house out, and the person loses their job and they're not able to make payments. Are you going to berate them? Are you going to yell at them? Are you going to scream at them? Are you going to like publicize it to all of your people how your client has no money? There is some sort of a confidentiality that there should be, some sort of like contractual confidentiality between, a client and a agent. Now, it's also confusing because they're on a reality show. So obviously we have to be able to like talk about this and see it. But Gina is so personally affected by this situation. And if Gina was smart, she would just say to the agent, I messed up. I am so sorry about this. The agent that's not returning her call, or the landlord or whatever. I really messed up. I trusted her. This was my mistake. I'm going to take responsibility. And the truth is, it is Gina's mistake. Because if you're vouching for someone without knowing their financials, joke's on you, dude. Joke is on you, right? So it's Jen's idiocracy in this situation, and Gina's maybe not immaturity, immaturity as a real estate agent. The only person that you should ever like vouch for is like your spouse or your kid or something. You don't just like vouch for a friend and just assume that they have money coming in. I don't know. It's all bad. Now at the same time, Jen, I wonder if she's learned. Like, it's July 30th, 2024. Do you think she has a credit card now? Do you think she knows how to spend her money? It's all bad. Now, a lot of you guys were saying in the comments here about her talking to her dad. And she was talking about the fact that like, thank you, dad, thank you, dad, thank you, dad, thank you, dad. And like she didn't say thank you, mom. That I found interesting too. I don't have that situation in my home. Like, I wasn't raised by my mom and dad together. So if I ever got help, it was my mom. So I don't have that situation, but I do have a friend who's in a similar situation, and dad and mom are married forever, but the dad is really the one that like hooks it up and helps her out if she needs the help. So it's all really interesting to me. And I don't know. I just feel like Gina's a little on her high horse and it's turning me off. It's like too much, too fast, right? Tamara's been somewhat quiet this season so far. She hasn't really said much. If you've noticed, she's kind of been in the background. But I did see the other day that she had 2 teas in a pod. Do you notice that my arms, by the way, if you're watching, they keep just like sliding down my legs? Like, I kind of can't stop. So Tamara had a clip of her 2 teas in a pod episode where she was talking to Teddy about Vicky. Did anyone see this? I almost think it's worth finding and showing you guys this clip. Lots of people had some thoughts around this, and I wonder what the goal of this clip is. Part of me wonders, are we trying to get I'm going to pull it up right now. Are we trying to get Vicky back into Tamara's life? Let's watch this clip together.
Name one thing you miss about your friendship with Vicky.
It's the music for me.
Daily check-ins, like, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? Knowing that I've had a friend for 17 years that's no longer in my life anymore, but probably just having a friendship with her. And now knowing like she's out there just trashing my name and saying horrible things about me. And I'm like, I really thought that, we were friends, we were mothers, we were wives. We've gone through so much together. We went through divorces together, problems with their children at the same time. And, I was there for her for all her many breakups. And I think just missing just having that person that I've known for so long now just trashing me. That's, I miss like the old times when she wasn't trashing me.
Yeah.
The music is too funny. If I get a copyright infringement for that goddamn clip, I'm going to be pissed. Pissed. It's not worth it. They put that music on to like try to, I don't know if they're probably not doing their own clips, but their social media person put that music on to try to incite some sort of like, oh my God, I really miss Vicky and Tamara together. But the comments say different. The comments are like, Tamara, you have like been such a big part of the teardown of your relationships with Vicky, with Shannon, with all these. And like, I like Tamara. You guys know I like Tamara as a person. I would not want to be on a reality show with her. And I probably would be a little scared to get too close with her. I don't know if she's like this in real life. I really don't believe that she's like this in real life, just from what I've heard. And I've known, other than Teddy, of course, I've known a lot of her real life friends through the years. I've actually heard the opposite about her. But on the reality show front, this girl's not scared to make good TV, and she knows what makes good TV. But it is kind of funny, like hearing her say this in the sad way, as if she was not, a big part of this relationship falling apart. Kyle, and someone says, Ray says they're like Kathy and Kyle. Yeah, it's like the relationship that will never go away. But they're not actual sisters. But I feel like we haven't seen the end of Tamara and Vicky, or Tamara and Shannon. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think we've seen the end. Okay. Michelle said they should have forked out the cash to license the classic Sarah McLachlan background music to really hit the vibe. In the arms of an angel. That was a fun little OC recap that I didn't mean to do, but I really love talking OC. But let's just move on really fast to talk about today's episode of Nick Viall Files with Kendall from Love Island. I'm going to make it kind of brief because I know that a lot of you guys, well, half of you, I would say, don't watch Love Island, but I thought this was really interesting. For those of you that don't know who Kendall is, he was in the top 4. They were the top 4. They were the 4th in the lineup, he and Nicole. He was the guy that, remember? Oh, I'm so excited about this relationship, Nicole. Can't wait to hook up with you. You're so hot. You're such a hottie, Nicole. Kendall bugged me on the show. There's no question, okay? He was so over the top. He was like very almost like an immature vibe to him, like very kind of cheesy. It's like, oh, I can't believe I got to hook up with such a hot specimen. Nasty. Exactly. It was like a little annoying, right? He also pissed me off during the Casa week when he went and told one group of the guys, like, yeah, you should cheat on your girls. And then he went and told the girls, like, yeah, he really likes you. And it felt like he was playing both cards. But he then ended up, really falling for Nicole. She was a bombshell that came in. They fell for each other. To me, they did feel like they cared about each other through the show. I thought she was stunning, like beautiful. He's a good-looking guy for all intents and purposes. And they got to meet each other's parents on the phone call. And he even said at the end of the show, I love you. And by the last episode, I cried watching their speeches. She finally said, like, I'm falling in love with you too. I didn't ever get that, like, butterfly feeling when I was watching them, like I felt with Serena and Cordell, like I felt with Janae I didn't really feel it with Janae and Kenny either, to be honest. The only other people I felt it for were Leah and Rob. I swear to God. And I know that Leah and Miguel are very happily together right now, but I did not feel that like butterfly feeling in the house with them. Maybe it was just the edit. I did not feel the butterfly feeling between Nicole and Kendall ever, ever. So the show ends. And as you guys know, right when they leave the villa, they get their phones and they get inundated with everything. And while Aaron and Kayla were getting their phones a couple days earlier and seeing everyone's obsession, and then slowly everyone started to come out of the villa and everyone was so obsessed with everyone, Kendall, as you guys know, without going into detail, had a couple explicit videos leaked. Well, one explicit video that was leaked. And it was very revealing in a negative way for Kendall. That's all I'll say about that. And if I was Kendall's partner in the house, I probably would have also maybe questioned a little bit. Okay? You learn a lot about people when they leave the houses. Got it? Now, right after the show ends, they did a couple podcast episodes. Like I think they did Chicks in the Office. I'm not sure if they did that one but I know they did Ryan Bailey. It was brief and they talked for a little bit. And then that was kind of it. The cast all went to Universal Studios last week. They were all together. Nicole and Kenny and Kendall were together, but not really together. There was one picture where they were holding up a Harry Potter wand, but that's it. Like that's not really lovey. They weren't really posting stuff together. Kendall was going out and about. You guys, I almost died last night watching a Kendall TikTok. I'm very happy I listened to the Nick Viall podcast today because I do believe that Kendall redeemed himself a lot in the sense that he was very like right before I went to bed last night. I watched this one TikTok of him and I truly didn't know if I hold on. I have to find it for you guys. Oh, yeah. I need you to just look at his face during this TikTok. Okay. I'm not going to put the music on. It's him dancing with Cordell. I just need you guys to look at his face and then we're going to talk about what we think. Look at that mouth. There's something going on. There's something happening. I don't know if I can handle it. He's just got like a very big over the top vibe. Like this is him hanging out at the bars. And this was in February. This is before the show. Like this is who he is, right? I mean, he's cute here. Here he is in 2023 doing a little dance, but he's that guy. Do we all know that guy? We all know that guy, right? Who's just like a dance, like he's a lot. So I see this TikTok of him last night right before bed. I'm like, oh, like he is my version of Ick, right? Then today he was on Viall Files and I found him so likable on this episode. He number one, he was chill. And I think that was a big, it was necessary to see him kind of like understated rather than over the top. He was chill and he was alone. And like I said, he's posted a lot with Cordell. He's posted a lot with Janae. He's posted a lot with Serena and going out and whatever, but he hasn't posted anything really with Nicole, and neither is she. And he goes on Viall Files and he starts to talk about their relationship. Now, he said that he really fell for Nicole. He never felt like that for anyone in his entire life on the show. And he said, I love you to her on their last date. And she didn't respond to him in the same way. And he said that it wasn't on camera, but I cried for hours. I cried for hours, he said. I could not, handle it. Like the producers needed to calm me down because I felt so rejected. Then he said she finally said, I love you to him, or like, I'm falling in love with you. I forget what her actual words were at the end. And he was so over the moon excited. He said that he's still with her. Right now, I'm imagining they filmed Viall Files in the last couple days. He said, I'm still with her. Then Nick was like, well, where is she? And he's like, well, there's distance and like, we're just trying to figure each other out. And when you come out of the house, like you just have to kind of start over and you're really not really sure exactly what's happening. And I care so much about her and I'm here for her and I want to be with her. And I'm just letting her kind of like, figure it out and whatever. And I think from what I'm vibing from, I think Kendall has gotten dumped by Nicole. But she's not really telling him she's dumping him. I think she's slowly, what's a slow ghost? There's got to be a word for like a slow ghost, right? I felt so bad for him listening to his interview because Nick Vile's like, well, I mean, if you think about Leanne Miguel, they're like hot and heavy, even though they're not in the same city, but they're like FaceTiming every second. Look at Aaron and Kayla, who are, oh my God, the most annoying TikTok I ever saw of them going to Chipotle. She's like, it's his first Chipotle. Aaron and Kayla give such Gen Z vibes. It's like the wildest thing. She's like, it's his first Chipotle. And Aaron's like, with his like faces. Like they look like they're seizuring out when they're at Chipotle. We're having Chipotle. Like so many face movements and hands. They're such like TikTok generation. It's so wild. So I will have to see kind of like what's going on there. But I think Nicole was in it for the show. It doesn't give vibes that she really cared for Kendall because she's not even saying like I had to end it with you, but I love you, but I just don't think that you're who I thought you were. Or like maybe she saw that TikTok. Honestly, and I'm not talking about the explicit one. Maybe she saw the TikTok I just showed you with him going with his faces. I'm sorry. Is there something more like unappealing than going to a club? Okay, number one, I don't go to clubs. So I am not into face dancing. This is what I mean. If I'm going to be on TikTok and watch TikToks and I see someone that starts dancing, but they have that stink face, I can't even do it. Not only because I don't know how to do it, but I really don't even want to do it. I don't want that to be out there in the world. But it's this like you look like you smelled something bad. It's a no for me, dog. Okay. Another thing, mirror face when you're dancing. Lips out. I'm so hot. I'm doing the pursed lips. Another thing, tongue out. That's a no. And then Kendall's like, it's a no. Just dance. Just dance. Why do we have to make why does it have to be a whole theatrical performance? Are we trying to get an award, an Emmy award for our dancing? Just dance. Everyone does it to an extent. Let's be real. If I have videos of me dancing, I'm doing it too. Okay. But sometimes it's so pronounced that I don't know. I can't even watch it. You know what I'm talking about? Dance with your body, not with your face. That's my new motto for So You Think You Can Dance. Okay. Anyway, I think Kendall got dumped is what I'm thinking. Finally, Big Brother, let's just do a few minutes. I am caught up. We have a new episode tomorrow night, and I'm going to say this right now. I hope you guys have all caught up because people have been eliminated. I think Thursday night, I can't even remember his name now. Is it Nick? Crazy Eyes? Crazy Eyes. He got eliminated. And then on Sunday, we have a new head of household and we have 3 new people on the, they call it on the wall. They're not even on the block. They're on the wall. Cause now you guys, this season, there's 3 people that go on the block, which is like a little concerning. Matt, that was his name, Matt. Crazy Eyes. The reason I say Crazy Eyes is because we've officially reached a level of unhinged in the Big Brother house. And this one is for you, Angela. Angela is cray-cray. Angela came into this house. She's like the older woman of the group. She's in her 50s, I would say, married for 30 years type of woman, living a really nice, sweet life. I just love Big Brother, she says. She comes in there. This woman is unhinged. She's probably on some sort of Jeff Lewis Facebook fan page, knowing her vibe, right? Like if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. She is wild. She gets head of household and she decides to go after this one dude, Matt, who's young. young, cute, sweet, starting a showmance, enjoying his life. First week of Big Brother. And she's like, you, Matt. She comes down the stairs clapping. It's the slow clap. And the whole group is looking at her like, huh? And the reactions are the best. Everyone's like they're putting in like a burrito, like, watching. You, Matt, I didn't like how you threatened me. And I will not be doing this. And you're crazy eyes. You're crazy. I said to myself, like, I would be nervous if I was in the house with her. I would want her the F out. She is so, like, it almost feels fake. It almost feels like the producers is like, we need someone in there that's going to go viral with her clips because she's so nuts. It was really, really nuts. And then the second it was over, she's, I don't think that went so well. I hope that you're going to still like me. Poor Matt. It's almost like she had a crush on him. Yes, because she started out going to him and saying in the bathroom one day, the bathroom is very communal, right? It's not just her and him. And she's like, you are so handsome. You're going to have a showmance. You're in here to have a showmance. Well, Matt was like, okay, chill out on like talking about how I'm going to have a showmance because that makes it look like I am a commodity in this house and like you're going to want me out, right? And Matt did mention about 475,000 times in his interviews, like, people only look my looks. People only see me as a hottie. People see, whatever. So she said that to him and he was like, I didn't like that. Then she goes around and telling everyone that he thinks that she is going to eliminate him because she's making it such a clear thing. But I think at the end of the day, like, Angela wanted to maybe hook up with him. I don't know. There was something going on there and it's wild to see, but not even enjoyable wild. It's like when you see Kendall dancing. You know what I mean? It's like covering your fingers. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Valerie Cherish. Angela is nuts, but it makes the season good. So we will continue to talk about Big Brother, very high level like that. If you really want some Big Brother talk, there's some YouTube shows that go into crazy detail. There's definitely people that like watch every single live feed. It ain't for me. Can't do it, but I don't know. From now on until the end of the season, we're going to see crazy eyes, even though Angela is the one that looked crazy doing it. And poor Matt, he's like, what? I don't have crazy eyes. What would you do if someone said you had crazy eyes? I would start walking around like this, like looking like I was stoned. I don't have crazy eyes. What are you talking about? There's one person that has crazy eyes and her name is Ramona Singer. Do not take it away from Ramona. Ramona, by the way, made me laugh so hard on her Instagram stories last night. Ramona is so funny. You guys, we're going to leave the show in just a moment, but not before I show you Ramona Singer's Instagram story because this was quite a scene. She cracks me up. I don't know why. We have to do like a daily Ramona-isms.
To say I enjoy my music is an understatement. I love all types of music. And I have to say, it's Monday night and I had the most fabulous weekend in New Jersey. It's such a special place where I was, like beyond beautiful along the water. I never knew it existed, and I'm telling you, it's fabulous.
Fabulous.
It's the best kept secret. And now I'm relaxed in the Hamptons, which isn't a big secret, in front of my fireplace. And I'm so blessed. Life is beautiful, and I hope you're all enjoying yourselves also.
Bless Ramona. Literally bless Ramona. And for that, you guys, let's turtle time our way out of here. Thank you so much for being here, subscribing. I'm about 20 subscribers away from 15.4 thousand subscribers. So hook it up. Hook a sister up. Thank you guys so much. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.